Hello, everyone, to the viewers of Dataquest. So this time in our Tech Talk, we're discussing CX. So for that, we have with us Sourav Ganguly, Head Premier Support at Lenovo. Welcome, Sourav.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Glad to
So
meet you.
yeah. So I just maybe take it at the beginning. I mean, for someone like who's new to this field, how would you define CX and how has it changed down the years?
Yeah, very basic question, but very interesting to answer.
Yeah.
If you look at from the definition perspective, customer experience is totally, in and around of a lot of items like
Right.
cognitive part, affection, and the interrogation of the different people and the interaction of the customers, the sensory part of different touch points, and the behavioral part also of the consumers, basically who are consuming the content and the products in and across the world, right? And that it starts from a journey in the sense from a evaluation, pre-purchase, purchase, and then post-purchase, and then the stages of a long-term relationship of the product and experience till the customer is moving on with a new version or new type of product or experience in the second phase. So each touch point journey, everywhere there is an experience, a point of contact, and this defines the CX. But if you look at from my company perspective or my experience perspective, I look at it little simpler way. I look at it as a customer at the center of everything, and whatever people try to do around that to bring business more profitable or more efficient, keeping the customer in center of everything, it defines it all that way.
So anyway, thanks for that very basic definition. Maybe we can build on that. So, what are the examples of innovation that have taken place in the CX field? Because last few years, especially with the pandemic and all, there have been a lot of changes. And also like upcoming AI. So how much is AI a disruptor in all these innovations?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, AI, I personally feel it's not so much disruptor. It is more
Okay.
of an enabler because the technology advancement has happened from ages. Like I'm talking about experience of a customer going back to those 6000 BC of a Mesopotamian days when there's a barter system, and the people used to exchange their own wheat and their own stuff, keeping in mind who is the best comfortable customer for them. And then maybe at a later part of 90s 1900 when maybe just before the world war, and after that when a lot of companies came into the picture where the customer satisfaction came in, keeping in the products in mind. uh, but I feel in the last 20 years it has changed a lot. In fact, from not from the traditional way of experience of delivering things, but also building acoustics element to the whole process of a proactive part of it, not a reactive part of it, because earlier most of them are product driven, the market driven, the technology driven. But here it is going towards more customer driven, what we want, and that way people need to be delivered that way, right? So AI, if you look at from my journey and my involvement in our company, a lot of things, a lot of areas we have done a couple of changes in the sense, not only from creating a visibility of dashboards, but also looking at different areas of integrating the persona of different customers, right? So it can be an housewife, a doctor, a businessman, a lawyer, a small school student, or maybe a very old person in the system who is not been aware of any technology till now and still trying to be with that technology, sitting their children sitting at US or somewhere else to be on a video call. So all these are linked to the persona, and there we have done a couple of areas of improvement in looking at those, building this AI model. And AI will started working hand in hand with machine learning. And along with the machine learning, we also looked at a couple of areas, bot assistance and metaverse to a certain extent. Now in the current model, Chat GPT also has come up to create more executive dashboard visibility, more stronger, more convenient to the decision makers. So I feel it's more of enabler, and the technology will keep evolving, enabling the whole experience moving forward.
So anyway, I like those two things. One is that CX has been around for 6,000 years, even though it wasn't called that in those days. And secondly, that AI is a, enabler rather than a disruptor. So, so anyway, going forward, will we cater only to the digital customer? Because it seems like the offline, everything is, going off offline. Or is the offline customer also going to be around sometime? How will you be handling this?
I think the digital customers are always there. See, if you
Okay.
look at the marketing process, everything is moving on digital. The whole newspaper stuff or a magazine stuff is, bygone days, right? But customers, while going on a digital, they are also looking at a couple of areas like mobile is the in-hand stuff to get connected for everything. And if you see the last 2 years of pandemic shift, especially the high impact countries and regions of the world, mobile became a very handy device for not only delivering small grocery stuff at home, food, but also doing a lot of technology related stuff, including the child education and maybe a distant learning programs. So I feel app at at your service is more important, and an interactive app application which is more important, like not a standalone one, but looking at the journey of a customer or a user and building that user proficiency or a persona in the system, and delivering that more customized in that user experience. So that way I feel digital plays a very strong role, and it is a very strong platform to depend upon the experience of the future customers. And that way, I feel one thing is very strong here is whenever we are looking at a customer journey, every touch point, every situation, the time is becoming more important at every touch point. And if you look at a few years back, time, maybe a lot of people at different professions and different tier of cities, maybe having a time definition of their own profession or maybe a different engagement. But now it is very more important. Every time is important, and people give value for the time and experience together. So I think when we look at digital, the convenience of usage, the effortlessness of passing through the different stages and going for a solution or seeking for a solution, and then finally the experience is reaching out to the customer again and again with more of a wow factor.
So
So that way I think it defines it all.
yeah. So anyway, that's quite interesting. So anyway, just maybe sticking with maybe the future and digital customer. What are the emerging technologies that will enhance predictive CX? I mean, I know they always want to predict what the customer will do next, but now it's a totally different ball game altogether.
Yeah. So a couple of areas, as I mentioned earlier, right? AI we spoke about is always be there. Machine learning will be always there. We have chat bots, which we also enabled in our systems, which will play a very vital role in the whole process. Work from home or work from office is becoming more convenient for different organizations in different sector of organization. Obviously, where it is most applicable, people are utilizing it the best possible way, and there all this new applications will help, maybe looking at a dashboard, connecting people from one place to the other. And that way all pioneer devices will play a big role. Means even the chat gpt will play a big role. Microsoft will play a big role. And the technology itself, the hardware technology itself will play a big role, because more faster the device is and more longer the specifications enabled systems are, like battery life, screen resolutions, and camera, and the long-term usages, that will help people to stay connected. And once you are staying connected, all this technology will be more helping people to move forward. And one more thing I surely feel is data science is becoming more stronger day by day, right? And data is a very crucial factor. Without direction or a right analytics, data is of no use. In fact, some of the survey says that the stickiness on the data flow on the social media is maybe 70% of no use when people are just addicted towards it. But companies are moving towards the data science field more effectively, and they're using those technologies effectively to showcase the direction to the management, showcase the direction to the decision makers at the point of failure, rather than more predictively, rather than going, like earlier days of going back after a quarter or a half month, yearly reviews, and then taking a decision which will be too late in the current situation. So that will help to people stay more proactive, and anything proactive which can stop the situation to fail and take the right direction for person to give a better experience of a customer, or a journey, and that will be great. And one more aspect I want to touch upon is the employee experience, because each employee in an organization, starting from a small startup company to a very large organization, maybe 100 years old, everywhere, their persona, their culture, their behavior, their addiction towards the team and the members are very important. And once that is builds up, we have done a couple of psychometric tests also in the coming past. We have automated some interview processes with the right roles and responsibilities, because the people will be always there to drive certain functions at any point of time. Robots and technology cannot replace humans. So at that point, I feel that experience also creates a vital role in the customer journey. And if the person is happy, if the employee experience is more defined and more organized, obviously using those technologies in the backend, then I think the outcome of that will also be very positive for the customers when they are bringing business to those companies at any field.
So anyway, thank you for that, because you have explained what CX is, its journey, where it's going, technologies, even about data and employee experience also you have talked. So I think we have covered it all. So finally, my last question would be, what are some of the examples of CX implementations that you have been involved with?
See, very frankly, this journey started long back, but I'm in this role in a couple of years back, and then moved to a different role now. But if you look at the key areas where we started focusing, because as I told, customer is center of everything, and we started moving towards that journey for a long time. Traditional surveys moved to real-time survey processes in the system. We used AI chatbot technology to deflect certain customers from a voice channel to a non-voice channel.
Okay.
We also used predictive analytics tool, using our in-house tools and some of the renowned worldwide usage tools, to do some voice text analytics, some customer sentiment analysis, and then try to draw attention to map those cases to the right point of originating field. Right example, a person who is in a manufacturing unit, the product information goes to them.
Right.
A person who is in a service technician, the service technician has handled the customer, the information goes to them. And that way, the KPIs and the whole process is built up through this dashboards, which is more real time and more dynamic, and gives a very clear vision to the people to drive the delivery out of what they want to do, more proactive rather than becoming more reactive. And a couple of more things what we also tried upon is, one, gamification is
Okay.
a good model, because the millennial generations
Yeah.
were part of a lot of activities
True.
and responsibilities in the system. So more they use mobiles, more they go through a gamification tool, more they learn, and they get some reward points. The loyalty programs get attached to that, and that way they get more stickiness in learning. Because of this current mindset, in one of the surveys we found that current mindset is adaptive to learning mode,
Okay.
maybe maximum 15 to 20 minutes with a sharp concentration model. So we tried to build up those content management systems in the tool
Mm.
so that it brings them to that gamification process. So that worked well, and then people started becoming more, eligible for those gates to pass on and deliver better than expected. And the one more point is the app portion. Like
Mm.
there are different things which customer doesn't want to do, but
Right.
they feel that there's a doctor for it to deliver. There's a
Right.
pilot
Right.
for it to fly, right? So that
Mm.
way.
Mm.
And so we develop certain applications which are more backend linked and oriented, but the people who are delivering, they do not need to go through so much of knowledge base at a time and deliver that. Those are guiding tool on a real-time basis. They can use the machine learning processes and augmented realities, and using AR VR devices, they can get into the problem, and the problem will guide them online, so
Right.
that the solution is more realistic and real time, with a little bit of maybe a knowledge of the process, and then the technology will help the people to deliver it better. So that way we developed those things and help the people to gain more confidence.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for those very insightful views. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.